as leader of this party, the New Democratic Party is committed to immediately, as Prime Minister, I would restore immediately those 1,100 workers and work to increasing our capacity so that we can have the resources necessary and the equipment necessary, and most importantly, the staff necessary to protect us. I believe, all of us here believe, that everyone in our country should feel safe. You should be safe in your communities, safe going to work, safe when you come back home, safe when you go to the park. Safe. You should be safe. You have the right to be safe. Sadly, that is not what it feels like right now. We're seeing a really serious increase in gun violence, particularly. We heard this week of really troubling allegations by the RCMP that a foreign government is actually hiring organized criminals, gangs, to engage in gun violence in our communities. And when we think about what gun violence means to people, I think about the people that are impacted. Of course, we know the lives that are cut short, all the potential that person that was killed could have contributed back to their communities, the things that they could have achieved in their lives, the families left behind mourning them, mourning their loss, the loved ones that are left with the trauma of seeing someone that they care deeply about killed in that way. So there is deep impacts of gun violence. And we know that the majority of guns that are involved in these serious crimes, the vast majority of those guns, when they're seized by the police, turns out 85% of them are smuggled across the border. Now, our customs, our CIU workers, these are workers that can protect our country. These are workers, these are border officers that can keep us safe. But they have been so under-resourced, understaffed, that they're unable to do the work that they want to do, that they know how to do. They're just simply overworked and understaffed. They do not have the capacity to do what's necessary. When we look at the sheer volume of risks that our country faces, we don't have enough workers to meet that need. And we know a large reason why we're in this position is because when the Conservatives were in power, they massively cut Canadian Border Security Agency with massive cuts. In one day alone, the cuts that the Conservatives brought in resulted in 1,100 officers being fired. 1,100 officers were cut directly as a result of Conservatives. Now, Pierre Poilievre talks a lot about crime, but his government, when he was in power, cut the very officers that we need to keep our country safe. And he would do more of the same. He's talked about cutting the services that we need. That's not going to get us to the point where we need to be. We know that Justin Trudeau had the opportunity to reverse those cuts and hasn't done so. So today, our announcement as leader of this party, the New Democratic Party, is committed to immediately, as Prime Minister, I would restore immediately those 1,100 workers and work to increasing our capacity so that we can have the resources necessary and the equipment necessary, and most importantly, the staff necessary to protect us, whether it's over rail or other ports of entry, make sure that we are protecting our country from illegal guns being brought into the country. We can keep our country safe. We can protect our communities, but it requires having the people that are the ones that can do this work having them staffed up sufficiently so they can provide the services that they know how to do and they can do, but just have to be properly resourced and properly staffed to do so. We want to keep our community safe. People deserve to be safe, and we're going to fight to make sure that's a reality. I also just want to acknowledge that while we're focused on gun smuggling and gun crime, we know that the roots of violence are very complex, and that involves addressing other concerns as well, which include addressing poverty, addressing lack of opportunities, and we'll continue to work on those solutions as well.